Good morning, dear students. It's time to start with English. Today we are going to talk about was there, were there. So we are going to talk about questions. First of all, we are going to start with the singular part. And for the singular, we have to remember that we are going to use was. So we have it here. Was there any? That is the order. Was there any? My possible answer, if it's yes. Yes, there was. Take a look. If my question says was, my answer is going to be with was. There, right? Yes, there was. Now, what happens if it's negative? You're going to say, no, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. And you have in here the example. No, there wasn't. Now, let's continue. We have in here plural. Now we have in there the plural. And remember, in plural, we are going to use were. Were there any? That is going to be the order. Were there any? Possible answer. If it's affirmative, if it's yes, yes, there were. My question, where? My answer, where. Yes, there were. What happened if it's negative? To say no. No, there weren't. Right? No, there weren't. So now we are going to see some examples in order to understand better. We have in here, take a look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. We have a queen and a king, right? That is a picture of a queen and a king. So it says, was there any king? Which is going to be the answer according to that question and according to the pictures. Yes or no? Yes, right? So, yes, there was. Now, we are going to have another example. What do you see in the pictures? A princess and a frog, right? A frog. A princess and a frog. So, the question says, was there any king? Was there? Was there any king? Yes or no? No, right? No, there wasn't. Right? No, there wasn't. Take a look, please. Was. Right? Okay. Okay, now we have in here towers, right? What do you see in the pictures? Towers and a castle, right? Towers and a castle. So, it says, were there any towers? Were there any towers? Yes or no? According to the pictures. Yes, right? Yes, there were. Take a look. My question, where? My answer, where. Now, let's gonna see. We have in here children, right? Children and two trees, right? We have children and two trees. 1, 2, 2 trees, right? So my question says, were there any witches? Do you see witches? Were there any witches? Yes or no? No, right? So no, there weren't. Take a look in here, where. For that reason, you are going to use where in here in your answer, right? Okay. So now, we are going to go to the reading comprehension. What is the reading comprehension? First of all, reading. Comprehension. what you understand about the story. So we are gonna have in here a story. Let's gonna read together, okay? You and me, we are gonna read together. It says, once upon a time, there was a pretty princess. There was a handsome prince, but there weren't any queens. They lived in a huge forest. There were 2 castles, but there wasn't any lake. They were very happy, right? So, that is the first reading. What are you gonna do in the second reading? You are gonna underline. So, start reading. Once upon a time, there was a pretty princess. What is important in there? What is important? There was, that is important, and princess. Because with that, you know that there was a princess. In the story, there was a princess. Now, let's continue. There was a handsome prince. What is important in that part? There was a prince. That is important. There was a prince. Now you know that in the story, there was a princess and there was a prince. Now, it says, but there weren't any queens. So, what is important? There weren't any queens. You know that there was a princess. There was a prince. But there weren't any queens. Now, it says, they live in a huge forest. There were 2 castles. What is important in that part? There were 2 castles. Now you know that in the story, there were 2 castles. Now it says, but there wasn't any lake. So, what is important in that part? Wasn't any lake, right? So, now you know that there wasn't any lake. They were very happy. So, after doing this, after you underline, now you're gonna do the exercise. So, this time you are gonna work with me. It says, answer. Letter A. Letter A. This one. Was there any lake? Was there any lake? According to the reading. Let's go back to the reading. Okay, now you're gonna see. Lake. The question was about the lake. In here it says, wasn't any lake. Wasn't. So, my answer is gonna be yes or no? No, right? No, there wasn't. My question with was, my answer with was. Now, letter B. Were there any castles? Were there any castles? You remember? No? Let's go back in order to remember. So we have in here castles. Take a look. Castles. There were 2 castles, right? There were 2 castles. So it's gonna be yes or no in letter B. Were there any castles? Yes or no? Yes, right? So, yes, there were. Where, because my question is with where, you are going to use where in the answer. Now, was there any prince? Let's go back to see. Was there any prince? There was in here, prince. There was a prince. Yes, a handsome prince. So, yes, right? So, letter C, it's gonna be yes. Yes, there was. Now, were there any queens? Do you remember? Yes or no? Don't remember? Okay, go back. Go back to the story. Queens, queens, queens. Let's gonna see queens, queens, queens. In here, queens. There weren't any queens, weren't. So, were there any queens? Yes or no? No, right? No, there weren't. Can I say no, there wasn't? No, because my question says where. And in here you say queens is in plural. For that reason, you are going to use weren't. Now, the last question. Was there any princess? Was there any princess? Let's go back. Princess, princess, princess. In here, princess. Yes, there was a pretty princess. There was a princess. Right? So, my answer is going to be yes or no? Yes, right? Yes, there was. Got it? Okay, now I'm gonna explain you your exercise. I'm gonna go, sorry. Okay, now I have in here the exercise. Okay. You have in here the exercise. What you are gonna do in this part? It says, look at the pictures and answer. You have to look at this picture. Look at the picture. Now, you are gonna answer these questions with yes, there was, no, there wasn't, or yes, there were, no, there weren't. And you have in here the questions that says, was there any frog? You have to take a look at here. Was there any frog? Yes, there was, or no, there wasn't. In here, were there any witches? Were there any witches? Take a look at the picture. Yes, there were, or no, there weren't. In here, was there any princess? Was there any princess? Yes, there was, or no, there wasn't. In here, was there any sofa? Was there any sofa? Yes, there was, or no, there wasn't, right? Now in here, you have a reading comprehension. You have to read. You are gonna read, okay? And according to this, you are gonna answer these questions, okay? So, in here, please, don't forget to underline. Underline the important things. Underline the important words, okay? Underline in order to get, to be easy for you to find in here the answers, okay? You have also in here to answer. Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. Yes, there were. No, there weren't. Right? So I'm going to be back here. I'm going to be back. PowerPoint. Okay. I have the PPT in here, and in here you have the reading comprehension that I show you. That it says, once upon a time in enchanted forest there wasn't a fairy, there weren't any trees, but there were lakes, there were 6 frogs, they used to live very scared because there were witches and there were dragons, but there wasn't any princess. What you have to do? You have to underline, okay, underline. And after this, after underline, you are gonna answer the questions, okay? You are gonna answer the questions. So, that's it for today. A big kiss for you. Don't forget to practice and send me your exercise. Bye-bye.